All right, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to OBS Today. It's so great to have you join us. My name is Melissa Taylor. Hey, Kendra, I haven't been here in a while.
You haven't. I know. It's
It's
a
been a hot
rarity. So we're
minute
so grateful you're here.
since I've been on OBS Today. I've been looking forward to this for weeks. And so I'm so happy to be here with you guys, with my lovely co-host who you all know very well, Kendra Shores. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great, Melissa. Thank you for asking. I'm doing well. Yes.
Good, good. Well, um, you guys tell us who you are and where you're joining us from, because we always love to hear what's going on in your life. And I
Yeah.
know, like here in the United States, we celebrated a national holiday this weekend, Independence Day. And so, if you guys did anything fun, it's typically a day that we celebrate the freedoms in our country. Um, Usually with fireworks, barbecues,
So
time
many
with
things.
family and friends. That looked a little bit different this year with the coronavirus.
Yes.
Um, but still, if you guys did anything fun, we heard fireworks everywhere. Like no big displays here, but
Right.
heard them and had they were just my dog was freaking out all
I
the
was
way.
going to ask how your dog was doing, but
It was not. She was so scared. We had to give her a little help, a little medication to calm her down a little bit at one point, but all is good. All is good. And you guys, I just want to share with you as we kick off already this morning. It's around 9 a.m. on the East Coast of the United States where we are. And already I feel like the Lord has really blessed me in some unique ways.
oh, like
So
what?
let me just share. I got up super early this morning, went on a walk. It was just coming out of darkness into lightness. And I kind of don't like that a little bit because there's usually more wild animals out. When I say wild animals, I'm talking about rabbits and deer, okay? Nothing like a coyote or a wolf or
But
anything
still
or a
wild.
bear. But it just kind of like makes me a little skittish if they just hop out of the bushes or something and it's dark.
Hmm.
But the Lord was so good. As I was walking, I saw so many deer this morning. I saw cute little bunnies just eating. It just like was a big blessing just to look at like and to think, Lord, you created these things. Like, and
Yeah.
look at them. And then when I got home, I usually do my quiet time in kind of a bedroom slash office that I'm sitting in right now. But I decided to sit at my kitchen table, and we have a big window. You know that, Kendra, like right
Hmm.
outside of right beside the kitchen table. And I looked up, and there was another deer. I mean, she was like in our
Oh.
backyard eating the bushes and eating like it was for like 15 minutes.
Oh, how sweet is
Oh,
that?
so sweet. And then the verse that was in my quiet time this morning is Isaiah 56 1,
Mm.
which says, maintain justice and do what is right, for my salvation is close at hand, and my righteousness will soon be revealed. And then verse 2 said, blessed is the one who does this, the person who holds it fast, who keeps the Sabbath without desecrating it, and keeps their hands from doing any evil.
Mm.
And I just thought, that is something we all can do. We can help, we can do our part to maintain justice and to
Hmm.
stand up for what is right. We can do our part at honoring the Sabbath. That's up to us
Hmm.
to honor God's call to have us take that time of rest and really, just focus on Him, not be so crazy busy all the time, and then to use our hands for good,
Yeah, I
not for
love
evil.
that.
So there you go. So that's what already has blessed me today. And now look, icing on the cake, I get to be with you guys.
How about that? And it's only 9:04 a.m.
I
Eastern time. I
know.
know.
I know. So Kendra, tell us about your weekend.
My weekend was good. I was in Ohio with my whole family, so all my siblings and their husbands and wives and kids. And so it was a lot of fun. We got to go boating and got to go swimming. And so it was great. It was full of fun, but I'm very happy to be back and have a routine to go
Right.
to. So, yes, it was a lot of fun.
Well, good. Glad you had a good time. And you guys, right when Kendra, we haven't seen each other in a little while. And so, right, we got on our little Zoom before we went live with y'all. And the first thing I noticed is for Kendra, her hair is super short.
It is. I got it cut, everybody. Got a quarantine cut and
You
color.
probably had like 10 inches cut off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about 5, but yeah, it kind of seems that way. So I'm still getting used to it and figuring it out, but it is much shorter.
It looks really good. Can you still do your little knot?
Oh, sure can. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll have that up later today, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay, good. Because I can't imagine Kendra without the little top knot.
Top
So.
knot, yes. Signature.
All right, you guys. So we're in week 3. We're beginning week 3 today of our current online Bible study, which is Hidden Potential by Wendy Pope. And so for those of you who are doing this study with us, tell us how you're liking it so far. I love, the title is Hidden Potential, revealing what God can do through you.
Yeah.
And so do you guys believe that God can do something through you? I hope you do. No matter where you are in your walk with the Lord, how well you know his word, I hope you know God can do something through you. God can do a lot through you. Yeah. But sometimes we don't realize it. And Wendy takes us through obstacles that can get in the way of God working through us. And last week it was failure, and this week it's fear. Mm-hmm. And I titled this "Failure is not an option, but fear is." And so I want to talk about that, because some of you, I know if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, excuse me, but have you ever had a child in the hospital? Mm-hmm. Have you ever been, afraid? Whatever, fill in the blank. Fear is real. So I'm not saying fear isn't real. Okay. Yeah. So just hang in there with me as we go through this message. But I do want to recap last week, because I was reading on last Friday, I read Friday's blog post by Alicia Hunter, and I thought it was so good. She talks about how she has failed a numerous amount of times. And in her heart, like, she knows who God says she is, but sometimes her thoughts remind her of her past mistakes, and she becomes her own worst enemy. And that gets in the way. She looks back on her failures and can allow those failures to define her. And so, guys, I hope after reading last week, you see that your failures do not define you. That is not who God says you are. That's a failure. Mm-hmm. All right. And Wendy Pope, in fact, Alicia writes this on the blog last Friday on page 65 of Hidden Potential. Wendy Pope says, our failure is not more powerful than our God. Mm-hmm. So remember that as we move into this week of fear, okay? Failure is not more powerful than God. So claim that, all right? Don't allow that failure to define you. The last study that we did was by Craig Groeschel, Pastor Craig Groeschel, and it was called Dangerous Prayers. What I'm about to tell you was not in the book Dangerous Prayers, but I wanted you to know who I was talking about when I said Craig Groeschel. One of the things that he tells his teams, and he's the leader of some pretty amazing teams, and one of the things he tells them is that failure is not an option, it's necessary. And the reason is so that they will take risk. The reason is so they will step out of their comfort zone and try something new and different, not just stay in the same pattern of doing the same thing. And it's not if you fail, but when you fail. So when you fail, learn from it. Yeah. Ask God, what do you want to teach me through this failure? So sometimes whoever chooses failure ever.
Right. No. It's not something you go to, right?
No, you don't set out and go, oh, I'm going to try this and I'm going to fail. I'm going to do it. Now, you might have talked yourself into failing, right? Like y'all go, oh, I'll never be able to do this. But failure is often, in fact, most of the time, it's not an option. Then we have to deal with it. Fear is an option. And let me just tell you why, okay? Fear is an option. At first, something truly may bring fear into your life. But then what are you going to do with it? Are you going to live in fear, or are you going to move beyond that? Because if we're truly going to uncover that hidden potential within us, we cannot allow for fear to rule our lives. This week, our chapter is called, What Can God Do Through My Fears? Mm-hmm. And this chapter is so good. And Wendy Pope walks us through some great biblical teaching, and she walks us through some examples. And we're not going to go into those right now, because I want you to read your chapter in the book, chapter 3, and go to today's blog post, because it's really good too, by Brandy Patton. But fear is a natural reaction, But then we have some choices as how we're going to respond to it. And that's why I say it's not an option. So when fear comes your way, and fill in the blank, what, Kendra, can you think of anything that brings you fear?
Yes, making the wrong decision. I struggle with that a lot. Fear of losing my parents. Yeah, I have a lot of fears actually.
Right. Okay. Fear of losing your parents. That's a great example because a lot of us might have a fear of losing and fill in the blank.
Right.
If you know of anyone who struggles with a disease or a sickness, then you can fear that something is going to, happen to them. If you just watch the news too much and you see about all the car accidents and the this and that and the whatever, all violence going on, you can be fearful that if you allow your kids to leave the house and drive their own car, that they're not going to come back. And those fears can take a hold of us. They're natural reactions. Right now, I know many of us are making decisions because we're afraid that we're going to get the coronavirus, that COVID-19 that is spreading, throughout and controlling a lot of what happens in our world right now. Those are all natural reactions, but we have some choices. And so that's where I want us to park today. And if you are reading Hidden Potential, if you have the book on page 94, okay, Wendy does walk us through something that's pretty practical as a response to fear, okay? And I'm just going to walk you through this real quick. She says, number one, pause. Recognize fear in the moment. So you don't have to bury it. You don't have to put it over here, bury it in the sand. You can say, okay, I'm scared right now. My fear is real. Even if other people tell you, oh, that's silly, you don't have to worry about that. If it's your fear, it's real and it's not silly, okay? But recognize it in the moment, because the more fear gets into you, the more it creeps into your head, and the longer you allow it to stay there, the deeper it can run.
So true.
So pause. Number two, pray. And Wendy suggests praying out loud in the pause, okay? Because the enemy can hear you, and we want the enemy to hear us pray out loud.
I love that. That's the best. Yeah.
Right? She says the enemy can't hear your silent prayers. So pray out loud. Now, you're not praying to the enemy, so I'm not saying that. You're praying to the Lord, okay? But Satan can hear you. And to say, Lord, protect my mind. Do not allow Satan to have any entryway into my heart and into my mind. And here's my fears, Lord. I'm giving them to you. And what does God tell us? Cast your burdens onto the Lord, and He's going to take care of us. So cast your burdens, give them to Him. Okay, number three, put off making major decisions in the time of fear.
That's a good one for me to hear.
It's so wise.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
It's like sometimes you have to. Like, I remember one time my husband took the kids to the park, and it seemed like maybe just 10 minutes later, the car comes screeching down the road. And I was talking to my neighbor out in the street, and into the driveway, one kid gets out and starts throwing up. Okay. That would be Blake. I'm just going to go ahead and tell him that. Blake gets out, he's throwing up. The next one gets out, and there's blood all over his face. That would be Dylan.
Oh, I was going to guess Hayden. Okay.
It was a seesaw accident. And sweet little Blake, when he gets scared and sees something traumatic, he throws up or faints. And Dylan had all that blood. I was so scared. But in that moment, I had to make a really quick decision. Where are we going to go? What are we going to do about this? I knew Blake would be fine. So I didn't even take the time to hug Blake or help him with his throw-ups, okay? What we did do is I scooped up Dylan, got Dylan into the car, and went to the emergency room. So sometimes you got to make a quick decision in fear.
Right. Kind of can help you.
Yes. If you don't have to, calm down and then make your decision. She says also to put it in writing, because writing down your responses like that can help you recognize a pattern. So if you're fearful a lot, if this is a common thing for you, write it down, put a date beside it. Put what happened, what was going on when you felt that way. And then the last one, she said to probe. And this is like to investigate. It's like, okay, fear, I'm not going to let you stay here with me. So I'm going to figure this out. And she talks about Bible commentaries and resources to research scriptures having to do with fear and peace. And I'm just going to throw out the easy one, okay? And no theologian would suggest this to you, I know. Google it, okay?
That's good.
Google Bible verses on fear, Bible
Mhm.
verses on peace, and they'll come to you, okay? Don't click on some crazy article that you don't know what it is, but it's go to those Bible resources that you get when you Google, and they're so good. So, Kendra, I think that's really wise advice. Those 5 things: to
Oh,
pause, to pray,
absolutely.
to put off making decisions, put it in writing, and then probe to get a little more, get some more verses.
Right. And combat it with scripture. Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're very smart. Wendy Pope is very wise and helps us be very practical. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yes, she really, really is. But I couldn't help but ask myself the question, what if I'm short on time? Like when I had to make that decision when my husband pulled up and 2 of my kids get out and there's crazy things happening. You
Right.
know, what do you do when you're short on time and you are scared? Sometimes I'm not going to lie. Sometimes if I'm home alone and it's at night and I hear a noise, I'm scared. Oh,
Yeah.
here's another one. And this is like minor, you guys. So I'm talking about practical things. I woke up in the middle of the night, went into the bathroom, turned on the light. Anyone around here know about palmetto bugs?
Oh, hmm,
Yes, it's like what's that big monster? I can't even think of his name.
the
What's think
Loch
of the
Ness monster. Oh,
Anyway, it's like the most gigantic roach you can think of. Palmetto bugs are like mice. They're this big
yeah. It's
and they come
shocking.
out in the summer, in the south, in the humidity. Anyway, so I click it on and a palmetto bug comes running across the floor and I was like, ah, okay. It runs out the door into the dark room, my bedroom. And so I go in there, turn on the light, no palmetto bug. And so I'm like, oh gosh, my husband's in bed. Like literally what I wanted to do, I wanted to go to another room and sleep. Just
Because it's in there. It's nerve wracking.
but I thought, I'm not going to let a palmetto bug kick me out of my room. And so I just prayed right then. I was just like, Lord, for some reason you made the palmetto bug. And I don't know why he's in my house. But anyway, help me to go back to sleep. And please keep that palmetto bug off of my bed. I don't care where it goes, but keep it off of my bed.
Uh,
But I had to pray. I had to like talk myself into not being afraid.
mhm.
So, what do you guys do? Let's just talk about some things when you're short on time. Maybe you don't have time to stop and go through those 5 steps. In a quick, hot minute, when you're afraid, do you have that one go to verse that you can think of that gives you strength, that gives you courage, that helps remove that fear? If you do, would you put it in the comment section? Because some of us may need that verse.
Mhm.
All right. Share with us that one go to verse. I know for me, a lot of times I'll go straight to Philippians 4:19. I can do all things through Christ who give me strength, or nothing is impossible with God, or even the one I referred to earlier. There's one in the Psalms, and then there's another one in First Peter, and they're almost identical, but I always get them mixed up. Cast your burden on the Lord, he will sustain you. I think First Peter says, cast your burden on the Lord, he will take care of you. So those are 2 that are big for me.
Those are good. Let's see. So we have some verses.
Oh, good.
Be still and know that He is God. That's from Holly. Um,
That's a great one because that I even feel like incorporates what Wendy said. To be still is just like
mhm.
it takes kind of the panic away for a moment.
Yeah.
I love that.
Jesse Bigelow says, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." That's Nehemiah 8:10. We have Psalm 61:2 that says, "From the ends of the earth I call to you. I call as my heart grows faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I."
Mm.
There are a lot here. So if you can't Google, you can just go to this OBS Today and see them.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
There are
Oh, guys, thank you so much for sharing those.
Psalm 23. Yeah. So there are a lot in the comments.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, so do you see what God's word can do for us? I mean, I know we say it all the time here: know the truth, live the truth, it changes everything. Basically, what we're saying is know, get into God's word, all right? Are we saying to know it word for word? Oh my gracious, we would just all give up, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that would be
No,
tough.
but the more you read it, the more it gets into your head and you start remembering some verses, just like the ones that Kendra shared that you guys are putting in the comments right now. And so grab onto that. Because when you know that and you can live it, you can hang on to it and believe it and say, like, okay, Lord, in this moment, I'm going to believe this and I need you to help me take my next step forward. So hold my hand. Let's take the next step forward. And then you can go and just say that verse over and over and over, because that truly is what's going to change everything in that moment and allow you to be able to move forward out of your fear and into whatever it is that God is calling you to do or whatever it is you need to do next.
So good. So
Yeah.
good. And it only takes a few minutes because sometimes that's all we have, which is your point. So
Right,
nobody
right.
got that back.
And then lastly, and I'm not going to get too much into this, but you guys don't skip over the reflection questions at the end. All right. At the end of your chapter, Wendy gives you some reflections at the end of all the chapters. And then she even gives you a place to like journal some notes. But go through them because it really does stop and make you think and examine, you know, what is fear doing in my life? And she takes us right into God's word. All right. So she's going to get you back into the truth so that you can know the truth and then start to live it, and it can really change your life. So make sure that you do go through these. In fact, I look right now at number 1. She shares a verse, Psalm 56:3. When I am afraid, I will put my trust in you. And so I'm going to end with that right there. So you guys have a great week. Hold on to these truths. Check out today's blog post by Brandy Patton. It's called Faithful Despite Fear. And hey, Kendra, I saw you and Wendy had another great conversation for us on today's blog as well.
Yes, yes, we did. So definitely want to go check that out.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Enjoy your week, whatever you're doing, and cling on to those verses that were shared in today's comment section by so many of you. We appreciate that. And just think of one thing that you can do this week to ensure that fear is not in charge of you so that you can live a great free week.
Oh, I love
Right.
that, Melissa. Oh, so
Okay.
good.
Everybody, thanks for joining us today. It was great to be back with you, and have a wonderful week.
Bye, everybody.